Hello, I'm Cody Whipple with the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. Today, we're joined by Shannon Stamm with the Union County Conservation District. In this video, she's going to introduce you to kind of how they survey the biological community before and after they do a stream stabilization project on one of Pennsylvania's waterways.
Thank you, Cody. So as I walk out of the pool habitat, again, we talked about diversity being key for our macroinvertebrates and our fish. So you can clearly follow me up through the pool with the mud cell, and now we're into a nice riffle section where we have a lot of nice substrate, different size, large rocks, small rocks, medium-sized rocks. That's what we're looking for to create that healthy benthic area for those macroinvertebrates. So before we did the project, this was extremely silted in. We had lots of material, lots more material being added to the stream system. So our macroinvertebrates were showing signs of impairment. And what I mean by that is we have a biological index that we use. It's called the Index for Biodiversity. And we use that to, there are certain bugs that have sensitivities to pollution, while others are more tolerable. So we use a different set of indices and metrics to come up with a score for the habitat and for the macroinvertebrate life in the stream. And the biologists use that to determine if this is an impaired stream or not. So in looking at that, we had more tolerant species of pollution and sediment pollution than we would have the sensitive species. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later when we look at the macroinvertebrates. The other difference was for the fish that we noticed before we started again. There was so much sediment in the bottom of the stream, we didn't have a diversity in the substrate, the rock sizes, the particles. Everything was silted in. So again, we had fish that could handle that kind of tolerance of sediment. After we did the project, so even before we did the project, we had the biological surveys done. Afterwards, we noticed that we're getting more of those sensitive species, like mayflies, that are coming back to the stream, less of the worm-like critters. We also have brown trout that have migrated into this section. We have a nice cold water fishery here. We are limestone influenced here, so we have very good alkalinity and hardness. So the chemistry plays an important part in the type of macroinvertebrates and fish that you're going to see. But again, we had things like creek chubs and common shiners. We didn't have a lot of the darters and daces that you would normally like to see that like the riffle areas. Afterwards, we started seeing more of those little fiddlick fish, the fish that like those riffle areas that are more highly oxygenated. So our diversity went up, our numbers went up, and again, we actually had some brown trout in here, and again, they really like those mudsill pocket areas.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Shannon.